Manchester United versus Burnley in the Premier League match preview. This is our game in hand, and as you can see, it's a massive game, a very exciting game for Manchester United fans, surely, because we are currently level on points with Liverpool, who are top of the table based solely on goal difference. However, if we win against Burnley, we're gonna go 3 points ahead of the match against Liverpool. Let me know your score predictions in the comments below, guys. We'll really appreciate some support. Also, if you like what you see, make sure you smash the like button, because it does go a very long way in supporting channels like myself, like smaller YouTubers, right? But this is the Premier League table, very exciting. Before we discuss that further, this is the head-to-head record. As you can see, Burnley won 2-0 back in January 2020, beginning of last year. Aside from that, they've had a pretty much a dreadful sort of year or years against us, going back all the way to 2009, where they won 1-0 against us, which is a very long time away. But generally speaking, we do have some good games with them. I think recently, you know, it hasn't been too much in the games. Like we won 1-0, 2-0, draws 2-2, but generally speaking, there's not many goals involved, and I expect Burnley to line up very deep. That's what I expect, because they are fighting relegation technically, and that's why I went for this starting 11. This is my predicted starting 11, and we'll also go and talk about the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference reaction. But I went for a 4-2-3-1 with Shaw, Maguire, Bailly and Bissaka playing. I think Bailly picked up a little bit of a knock, but I think he'll start. Shaw's got a bit of a knock along with Lindelof, but I think they will start as well, aside from Lindelof. The reason why I picked Bailly, because this is an important game in a sense that Burnley are expected to defend quite deep, which means that we must have a high line, but yet have an insurance in the form of Eric Bailly, who can run back with his pace. That's what I feel. Midfield number two on the midfield, I went for Matic and Pogba. Matic providing the cover, Pogba with the creative ability from that midfield area. The reason I went for that, because if they defend deep, we won't need the energy of Fred and McTominay. I think we need more of a creativity to open up their defense, especially Bruno is back. That's what I'm happy about. But two creative midfielders on the field will mean that if they end up marking Bruno out of the match, there will be someone with the quality of Paul Pogba to unlock the defense. Up front, I went for Anthony Martial. Although Cavani is back, we'll discuss him and what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had to say about Edinson Cavani. Will Edinson Cavani start against Burnley? We'll find out. But Rashford and Greenwood, I think he had a decent game. I think this game is perfect for him as well. Again, with his trickery, pace and being both-footed, I think he will cause havoc for a deep-lying Burnley defense. And Martial up front, only because I think with Cavani's situation, I believe that he shouldn't start this game, but he should be gradually given some minutes in this game to be able to be match fit for the game against Liverpool. But this is my predicted lineup. As you can see, a lot of pace, a lot of creativity, only because if Bruno gets marked out of the game, we have Pogba who can do damage up front with the pace of Rashford, Martial and Greenwood, and the trickery of Rashford, Martial and Greenwood will ensure that we can unlock that defense a little bit quicker and put them under real pressure. But this is my predicted lineup versus Burnley. Going on to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference and Edinson Cavani, he's come out and said that Edinson has trained well when he's been banned. He's had a couple of days off, of course, as well. You can't train too much, but he's ready to go. He gives us a different option. He's a different type of striker or forward than Mason Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. So I'm glad to have him back. That's why we brought him in. He does provide a bit different dynamic, I reckon, especially a threat, a proper number 9 pivot threat on the box, both on his off ball movement and his heading ability. He's contributed really well so far, and I'm sure he'll be really important for us until the end of the season. We feel that the season starts tomorrow night. Wow. In terms of the title charge, obviously he was asked about that, and he replied, "No one will remember how the league table looked like on the 12th of January in 2021. We are better off this season compared to the same time as last year. We've won more games, scored more goals, played better football. So of course, that's a positive. But as I said, no one remembers the January league table. And for us, it's just about developing this team and improving. I think we've shown that again, we can bounce back after disappointment. I thought the lads that played in the FA Cup game showed good character, attitude and quality. And I agree with that. We need to stay focused. We need to take it a game at a time. I reckon, although traditionally Liverpool and Burnley, Liverpool matches against Liverpool are a bigger draw because of the rivalry, etc, etc. I think this will be a bigger game versus the game at Liverpool, because this is the game that will put us 3 points ahead of Liverpool. Like, this is the game in hand. We're not playing an extra game where Liverpool can potentially get another win and be level on points. This is the game in hand, so the quality on show might not be as good as the game against Liverpool. However, I think this game will be more pressured, because winning this game means everybody's played 17 games, Liverpool and Manchester United, but we are ahead by 3 points, which puts the pressure back onto Liverpool to kind of play catch up. As simple as that, guys. So I reckon this will be a very important game. In regards to the injury, Luke Shaw, Victor Lindelof, they have been cleared. Paul Pogba, Bailly might also be involved. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said all of them trained today. Paul and Eric just didn't do all of it, but Luke and Victor did all of it. So you got bit of niggles, but I reckon it will start to come into play where Manchester United will end up getting these players back. I think the fitness level of the club has been good so far, albeit certain players probably need a bit more fitness in my opinion. But generally speaking, we have been, especially the month or so that went past, we have been lucky with injuries. Even with resting players, I was happy to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer rest pretty much the whole team against the victory in the FA Cup, which was the right thing to do against Watford. And it gives us fresh legs, much needed rest for the likes of Rashford, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, who's played a lot of minutes in nearly all the games. Certainly with Bruno Fernandes' case, he played, I think, all the games this season so far. So to be able to rest him ahead of Liverpool will be fantastic as well. I think if we can defeat Burnley or put the game to bed in the first half, it gives us a bit of time and sort of game management in the second half to be able to go in and start resting up, start sort of looking ahead to the Liverpool game, because this is Liverpool Man United is a massive game. In my opinion, looking at Burnley, they are 16th in the table. They have been conceding a lot of goals. I don't think they will score many goals. Look, in 15 games they've only scored nine times. So offensively they are pretty much no threat. However, in the last 5 games they've won 3 and drawn 1. So they're in a decent bit of form. They've only played 15 games, so although up front they are not a threat, but we need to be careful, especially given the fact that they've had a bit of a rest as well as having that record in the Premier League. But in my sense, my prediction will be 3-0 to Manchester United. I think we're going to be well off, and I think if we play the players that I've mentioned, we're going to have loads of creativity, pace, trickery in the field to be able to put the game to bed nice and early. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below in regards to your scoreline. And as always, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next upload, and stay firefighting.